This week's speech, I will be explaining the story of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. This story is about two young lovers whose journey together was short lived and ended in quite big tragedy. The biggest part of the story is based on two feuding families, the Montagues and the Capulets. Romeo is a Montag and Juliet is a Capulet. These families are sworn enemies, residing in a town named Verona. At the beginning of Romeo and Juliet, Romeo is in love with a woman named Rosaline. But when he goes to a masked ball, which is thrown for Juliet by her father so she can meet and marry the prince's son named Paris. But when arriving at the ball, Romeo and Juliet fall in love at first sight. After the ball, they find out that their true identities are that they're from families that hate each other. Later that night, Romeo climbs into the orchard where he overhears Juliet confessing her love about him. There they exchange their vows and agree to marry each other the next day. Yes, quite a quick decision, but it's romantic. The two secretly get married the next day through Friar Lawrence, who does it in hopes that it will reconcile the two families and bring peace back to Verona. Meanwhile, Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, challenges Romeo to a sword fight. Romeo refuses to fight when confronted because they're now related, though Tybalt doesn't know that. However, Mercutio, which is Romeo's short-tempered friend, intervenes and accepts. At the end of the duel, Mercutio is killed by Tybalt. And to avenge Mercutio's death, Romeo then kills Tybalt and is banished by the prince into exile from Verona. While Juliet is grieving for Romeo's banishment, her family believes it is because Tybalt's death and plans for her to marry Paris on Thursday to hopefully help her feel better. To avoid a false marriage, Juliet takes a sleeping potion that would make her appear dead for 42 hours. When, during that time, a message was supposed to be sent to Romeo for him to return to Verona in time for Juliet to wake. Knowing the plan, Juliet agrees to the wedding and her family decides, in excitement, to move the wedding up a day, forcing Juliet to take the potion that night, which reduced the time for the message to be able to reach Romeo. The message never reached Romeo on time, unfortunately. Early Wednesday morning, Juliet's seemingly dead body is discovered and she is placed in the family tomb. Later that night, Romeo enters the tomb and finds Juliet's seemingly lifeless body. So he thinks she's dead and he doesn't want to live anymore without her. So he takes a poison, committing suicide. And then she awakes to find him dead beside her and she stabs herself with a dagger because she also decides she does not want to live without him. As dawn approaches, the two families arrive where the tragic sequences of events has just happened and it is explained to them. The deaths of these two star-crossed lovers finally brings the two families feuding to an end, and the Montagues and the Capulets join hands in peace.